Oh, I love that there's that screenshot of me there. That's fantastic.
Of course there's a screenshot of you. What is going on, guys? It's Kevin here with ModMyMods, obviously. But I'm joined here with a good friend of mine, and we'll get to that in 2 seconds, I promise. But welcome to the ModMyMods news update. I'm your host, obviously, BIGKevin, the one, the only. There doesn't really get too many more of them besides me. And I appreciate you guys for being here this afternoon. Luckily, you don't have to listen to me talk. Well, I mean, you do, but you only have to listen to me go back and forth and banter with this guy. So, without further ado, let me bring him on. The one, the only, the lovely Shannon Robb from BIGBeard. Thanks for being here, my friend.
What is up, dude? What is up, dude? What is up, guys? I love how you almost forgot where you were from.
Well, you know, I wear so many different hats. You know, I have the New York Yankees hat.
You're only wearing one at the moment. I can see you.
Here we go. I can work for Main Gear if we need to.
Damn it! I don't have any hats close by. I'm just kidding. I wear hats as a euphemism.
I can work for Brain Tech Society. Let's see what we got. I could be Killer Mods. You know, I have many a hats, and I wear them all. So sometimes it is difficult to keep it all straight. But I know that you are from the Be Quiet. Shh, be quiet.
You're gonna screw that up. I'm like, this is awesome.
I mean, you gotta start it off somehow, right? But thank you again for being on this afternoon. I appreciate it. And hopefully, with my good friend Shannon here, we can talk about some other things other than just what I usually talk about and maybe have another unique perspective. What do you think? Sound like a plan? Sounds like a plan to me.
Sounds like what we planned, actually.
I mean, kind of, sort of. Kind of, sort of. So, Shannon, I'm going to give you a couple seconds here to, I don't know, I guess introduce yourself and I guess tell everybody what you do.
What's up, guys? My name is Shannon. I'm the marketing manager for BIGBeard. For those of you who don't know, we make cases, power supplies, coolers, fans, pretty much anything awesome to make your system awesome and also to give Kevin more work to do. So wherever we can, I try to shove some cases at him, especially new stuff, see what the kind of cool mods he can make and stuff like that. Now I'm literally just delaying because I'm watching him fight with a hat. Something I never thought I would see in my life. I'm watching a grown man fight with a hat.
I was really trying to get the god. It's number 3. I know it's number 3. This one I don't even need to adjust it. It's already perfect. And this one I like barely wear. It's great. I'm so glad that you could be here this afternoon for this.
I'm so glad this worked. I love the flat bill, by the way.
I don't like bending. Like if it's a nice flat one, I don't really like bending it, and it's a real nice one. Main Gear, I actually asked them if they would send me one of these, and they did. I really like those guys over there, by the way. If you want a pre-built system, definitely check out Main Gear. They're located over in New Jersey. It doesn't smell in that part of New Jersey where they're from because, well, you know, all the coolant and stuff in the air, it like purifies the stench. So I promise your computer won't smell and it'll actually look pretty dope. If you guys know Greg Orlowski, I think that's how you say his last name. He's actually a really, really big overclocker and just received a budget build from Main Gear, which was not a budget build. That's a total horseshit. But it is a badass little PC. So check that out if you guys are interested in, you know, some pre-built systems that are high quality and not garbage, you know?
You're talking Gregory Alexsky.
See, you had a problem saying his last name too. I don't feel so bad.
He actually built that system. He actually got the case. He actually got the case with the distro block from Main Gear.
Wow.
And then he built the system in it. And that thing's actually a beastly ass system. It's pretty cool.
Can you actually order the cases and the distros from Main Gear?
Yeah. Yes, you can. You can order that case with distros. It's not our case. Sad face, but
I'm sorry. What case is it? Do you know which one it is? Off the top of your head?
I can tell you it is the
it looks like an NZXT or an Inwin.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe. It is not. I actually guessed it back when I reviewed one long before I was working at BIGBeard. It's for the vibe, and it's basically kind of a remake of the it's from Leon Lee. I can't remember exactly which chassis it was. I think it's the Land Cool. It's like the Land Cool 2 or Land Cool something.
Okay.
So it's the same base chassis modified for them.
Interesting.
It's a solid chassis. It works well, and if you get the Apex, the custom, well, I'm wiggling my mouse over the Twitch stream like as if you guys can see it. If you get the one all the way to the right, that's the highest price. It's actually very effective. So.
Well, I mean, next time I'm gonna let you drive because apparently I'm not driving fast enough. Dad knows where we're going. I'm just trying to give him directions from the back seat, as you can tell.
Don't make me turn this car. Don't make me turn this stream around.
Well, I mean,
I will.
I'm sure. I know you will. I'm
gonna go put on some New Balance and start the barbecue.
Yeah, I mean that's okay as long as there's some ribs on there and maybe some pulled pork would be great. We actually made some ribs the other night, and what else did I make? We made pulled pork a couple weeks ago actually. And yeah, so I didn't have my New Balances on, but I had my Asics on, that's for sure. And my,
okay. Those are compatible enough that I would say you still were in dad mode.
I mean, absolutely. Absolutely.
Did you have like the cargo shorts on and like?
Yes. Yeah. And
okay, so
the apron, the apron that has the molly on the front with the multiple mag pouches that aren't for magazines. That one's for salt and pepper. And then I got my spatula over here on the side. And then you got your little knife that's in the middle and your temperature. I mean, you got to be, if you're going to do it, you got to do it right. So.
Quick read thermometer. You gotta go with it, man.
Oh yeah, I absolutely. And then you have the one that's like draped halfway across the grill and stuck up in the one little hole that you know is about where the heat's coming from. Oh yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Next time we're doing a live stream, I'm gonna take my laptop and I'm literally gonna stream while I'm like smoking.
Don't tempt me, man.
Welcome to Dadcast.
That's right.
Don't touch the thermostat.
Here at Mod My Grills, we do all sorts of things on top of smoking meat. Anyways, yeah, so we're just gonna fly past that and around that like it's a bad cloud. So Main Gear apparently will let you buy the Vibe chassis, which is kind of cool. It's kind of dope sauce. I have one question though.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, it's out of stock. That's one question answered. But why is there any airflow in this? This kind of looks like an NZXT job where we're just going to make it a pressure cooker, let the little steam vent come out of the butt here, and that's about it.
I will say they did a reasonably good job like allowing ventilation through. They just can't see it from this angle, but it actually does.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's all I need to know. I know NZXT cases are notorious for being hot boxes. I just, I can't imagine Main Gear would make something not efficient, but
no, Main Gear has a good R&D team over there. I know their guys over there. They're actually good friends of mine, and they do really good work. They did a lot to make that a very effective chassis, especially being it's not super huge. It is full on like a mid-tower chassis. It's something kind of similar in size, let's say, to a 500DX, which you've used.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's a very similar size. It's not as deep. It's a little bit skinnier, but overall it'll fit most everything, And the only thing you'd have a problem with is if you had like taller, longer GPUs than where that Apex cooler would be.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the one part that would kind of bite you in the ass.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, like I said earlier, go ahead.
Like Travis from Showback said, he said you can also buy them at Micro Center, and you can because when I have a local Micro Center, and when I went in there, they were selling those along with like their chairs and mouse pads and all that good stuff.
Oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, that's neat. I know Main Gear at one point in time was not this big of a company as they are now. But that's really neat to see how far that they've come, that their actual products are available at the Micro Center, especially local Micro Centers. That's cool. Very cool.
That's credit to Wallace and their team, man. They've done an amazing job of building a great brand.
Yeah,
and they really are.
And Wallace is actually a really cool guy. If you ever get a chance to meet him, Wallace is awesome. He really is. Let me check the chat here because to be honest with you, I've been neglecting it. You're more on top of it than I am. I'm trying to I'm steering the ship from the back seat here. Dad's really flying. Now we're getting into airplane analogies.
Wow, now you're calling me dad. This is getting a little. I mean, I understand. Hey, I love you, buddy.
Yeah, I know. It's all because you have the stupid image you sent me earlier. That's all it is. Anyways, all right. So Travis,
if anyone notices me looking up here, because I have screens all around me, and you guys talking are up here.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to say thank you to Travis. Maven, thank you for being here. Shammy, what's up, man? Thank you for being here as well. TPP, Mr. Canadian Kevin. Welcome back, my friend. We missed you. Facebook user. I have no idea who that is, and I'm sorry, because Facebook sucks. We were just having issues with it, like, not even 2 seconds before the beginning of the show. That being said.
I was trying to post out to get people to come watch, and I was typing, and like it would type some gibberish, and I'm like, oh great, it's broke.
Yes,
It's completely broke.
It's very, very true. Don't lie. He has a skirt on most days and tries to say it's an apron, but what? It's really what a dress looks like. You know what, Shammy? That's not very nice. I think I made you custom coolant at one point in time. You're cut off. You're cut off. No more. No more custom coolant. Hey, don't. You know, not very nice.
That mental image. Not a fan. Not a fan.
I'm just.
Love you, Kevin, but there's limits to my love.
I'm, there's limits to everybody's love. That's all that it is. That's all that it is. So, all right, try and steer this. Now we're going back to trains. Try and get the train back on the track here. We've been in boats, we've been in planes, we've been in trains now. We're so screwed. All right, so
planes, trains, and automobiles.
That's right. All right, we're gonna go to this place. That way you can talk about more things, and I can shut up. That'll be great. All right, so you have new stuff. You had this guy that just came out, the Pure Power 11 FM. What?
Fully modular.
Oh, okay. Well, that's awesome. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to tune in my radio with the FM. Like, is there a frequency? How's that work?
There's a lot of components. So technically, if you know what you're doing, you could probably take some out and make a transistor radio out of it. I wouldn't necessarily say you could, but it's possible. But otherwise, as it sits, it's basically a fully modular power supply that is focused less on what our dark power series, which is the uber insane top end. This is more something that will match like a gaming build and have the full modularity. So what I like to say is like, it gives you the modularity you want without breaking the bank. Modular you deserve, modular you want, however you want to look at it. Because anyone who's ever used power supply that has all fixed cables, I feel sorry for you. I've done it, and I feel your pain.
Yeah,
especially if they're ketchup mustard cables.
Oh, I
Kevin's favorite.
Used to sleeve those things. Those are awful.
You used to like hand individually sleeve those?
Yeah, man. So back in the day, we used to work at some company that we will not speak of. That used to offer a service that was real great. It was a great service. You could single sleeve a full power supply that was non-modular. So if you bought like a 750 watt, I don't know, say it was like an EVGA or something like that, that wasn't sleeved, you could actually get it sleeved, and I would have to do it. And man, let me tell you what.
My fingers hurt hearing you say that.
I mean, I still don't have feeling in these two fingers. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I burn myself more on the inside of my hand because these fingers don't feel it than anything else. It's unbelievable. But
that's the worst, when you like callus up, like you don't feel that, so you end up like hurting yourself more because you're like, everything's fine, and the next thing you're like, I didn't do red sleeving. This is white sleeving. Oh, that's right. The tip of my finger's gone.
Yes. Oh, what was it? Brony was doing a cable set and he cut himself on something in the case, and he didn't realize what was going on until the white cable set had blood spatter pretty much throughout the entire cable set. And so he had to pretty much redo the entire thing because, well, he was bleeding and didn't know it.
No. That's where you take his hand, you hold his finger, you squeeze it a little bit, and you just whip it around the case, and then say that's a custom splatter effect.
Custom,
no charge.
Absolutely.
Just with free DNA. They just don't know that.
I think there's some OSHA concerns here.
Not sure you want Brony's DNA in your house, but
or on your PC. Yeah. I mean,
sometimes you break a few eggs.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Well, I mean, that is a pretty dope little power supply that you guys got here, especially for 750 watt. What's the price on one of these bad guys? Any idea?
You know what? Actually, that is a fantastic question. I can answer that right now. Let me
That's
see.
Okay. I'll click the buy online, and then I'll look at, oh, ew, Ew, even worse. Ew. Oh goodness. Look at these. Ew. I'll go to
Oh,
B and
stop.
H. At least they're
Seven.
trusted.
Okay, 750 is 115 bucks.
Oh, that's not bad. Full modular
Well,
for
well,
115?
considering if you scroll down, when I said like it's not like the Dark Power Pro, right there, up a little,
Yeah. Yeah.
up. But there we go. That's up. Oh, well, we're back where B&H.
Oh, B and H. Okay.
Yeah,
This. Yep.
they they had the Dark Power, and that will show you. That's a staggering difference. I mean, that's the very top end, like the titanium.
Holy
Actually,
cow.
I believe TPB actually said something about that. He's like Dark Power Pro 12 beast. He's
Yes.
like you could beat someone to death with it. And I'm telling, well, you've seen one actually, Kevin.
Yeah, we have one actually at the
I mean,
shop, and it weighs like
it's
8 pounds or something like that. It's unbelievable.
well, it's just, I mean, it's got like a whole like brushed aluminum case on the outside. It's like it creates like that premium feel effect. But a lot of times you just need a power supply that's going to go in your gaming rig and work.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's where like the Pure Power 11 FM, that is where it fits. It's like, hey, you want to be able to build yourself a badass setup? You've got all modular cables. Granted, they're not individually sleeved like the Dark Power Pro 12. That's one of the reasons it's actually so expensive. It has a fully black sleeved, like unisleeved cable set.
Yeah.
This one's like a bundled cable set along with flat cables.
Yeah, but that's not
So yeah,
bad though. I mean, the flat
yeah,
cables still look decent, especially for
yeah.
the price. That's not bad at all.
That's the thing. The flat cables do look decent, and the only one that's really bundled, because it has to be, is a 24 pin. Well, 20 plus 4, or however you want to call that. Until everything goes ATX 12VO, then we go, oh dear God, was our motherboard have a giant VRM on it? That is another story for another time. That's
Yes.
another nightmare coming down the pike. You get to enjoy that one.
Yeah. I'm
Good luck
so
modding. Good luck modding motherboards to cover the right side of the board where that VRM is going to be.
so excited, man. I like.
Well, the DC to
Can't
DC
wait.
regulation actually, but because that thing's going to feed in 12. I'm sure you guys all know 12VO. It's literally going to pump 12 volt in your board, and your board's going to have to do all the DC to DC regulation for your 3.3 and your 5.
And
It's
what's
be
the main
interesting.
reason that they're doing that? Do you know?
Efficiency. A lot of it comes down to efficiency and it's all low load efficiency. A lot of times where your system, like when your system's sitting idling,
Yeah.
your system pulls, let's say 20 watts, 30, whatever it may be, depending on your system.
Yeah.
If you've got like a 3090, 5950X, you're going to pull a lot of power. So at the end of the day, having a 12VO setup means you're pushing 12 volt only, which means that's far less load, less internal losses with the DC-DC regulation. So you're moving that down the plane to the motherboard, where the motherboard can literally transition those voltages to what they need to be in an effective way without having to deal with it for like a unilateral case like a power supply. It just moves the load down to the motherboard where it can be more properly allocated. Because power supply, you got to build a big fat 3.3 rail, 5 volt rail, just to make sure in case someone throws a lot of crap on it. On a motherboard, they can definitely pare that down to match what it's actually going to need. Especially now that SATA devices are going away. You notice a lot of people, I mean, my system doesn't have, well, yeah, it doesn't have a single SATA device on it. All my stuff is either PCIe add-in card storage or M2s.
Yep. Yep. And that
So go ahead.
I was gonna say, and that's kind of the route that everybody's going now. I mean, SATA drives are almost and obsolete. I mean, obviously M.2 drives will be around for quite some time, but that small storage and being as quick as it is just, But don't feel bad, Mr. Kevin, TPB Mods. I promise I still have some SATA devices at my house. There's one, actually, only one, but there is one drive in the Icecrest Loft that's running the show right now that actually is being used by a SATA device, which is okay. But I'll tell you, in Battle of Hoth, it has 0. No, none of that. None of that crap.
See, you eventually get to a point, like I have a storage server sitting over here in my lab. Like all of my stuff hooks up to 10 gig network to that.
Yep.
So all the spinning Rust is over in a separate device, so every device can access it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All that stuff is over there. All my games and stuff are happy in my system. Mm-hmm. But I don't play games off hard drives just because
it's slow. It's dumb. Like,
I mean, you probably could. It's just one of those things where I have the opportunity to do it Flash, so I just do.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not anything like, there's nothing aberrant about a hard drive except the latency and the time it takes to do anything.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree with that. All right. Well, besides your dark power or your FM, your new FM guy that's out there, is there anything else that you would like to share that Be Quiet is doing, or has come out with, or is, or whatever,
Uh,
that
you,
you'd
you
like to
know,
feature?
you know most of it. I mean, we have. Yeah, see, TBV said it right away. The Be Quiet 802. The 802 is a fantastic case. It's
Yes.
something we released, and it's probably, I say I'm safe in saying that's probably one of the uh only cases you're going to see kind of launched in this year. We are obviously working on advancing some things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pushing really hard on my team to embrace ITX because
Okay.
I know that's something a lot of people want, and it's not an easy path to go down because you're fighting against some very established makers that make very niche products.
Mm-hmm.
So we're taking some steps internally. I don't want to speak out of turn here because I don't want to put myself in hot water, but I will speak freely enough to say that we're going to be looking at steps as far as chassis, new stuff,
Yeah.
everything from new fan designs down the road. We're working on optimizing a lot of stuff in our lineup. That's what you're seeing, like with new warranties with our like power supplies, things like that. You'll notice you're starting to get longer extended warranties with those. We're working on optimizing, meeting the market or beating the market on certain things. I don't want to sit here and toot our own horn, so I'm just giving you kind of a rough overview of what we got going. The 802 is one of the ones that obviously you've seen, Kevin.
Yeah.
We've done some work actually together with this, and I love this case just because it still sticks true to the Be Quiet brand, which is silence. So it comes by default with the silence panels on the top and front. So it kind of masks out a lot of that noise, but fan noise and stuff like that, which there's minimal to begin with. But let's say you're building like push pull fan, radiator, stuff like that. You can still slap on the mesh stuff and get better airflow. And you do obviously allow a little more acoustics out. But at the end of the day, it gives you your option. It's not like an optional accessory you have to buy. It comes in there with the case.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually so impressed when I pulled the 802 out of the box, the white one. Yeah, and Jonathan was asking Brain Tech, which, by the way, thank you for being here, Jonathan. I appreciate it. I wore your hat earlier. See, I was part of Brain Tech Society for a couple minutes. The 802 is not only it is plastic. It does have some plastic tendencies that are a little obviously plasticky, but the fact that the parts that are most viewed and most needed are actually solid, nice pieces of metal that are powder coated and look really nice. And the fact that you were able to match the powder coat on the outside of the case to match the plastic white color that the actual case is very, very hard to do. And
Not easy.
It's
Not easy.
No, not at all. But it was kind of neat because when you pull it out of the box, so if you can see on the front panel here, it's solid, and the top panel is also solid. But they give you interchangeable little slits or little plates that you can put on here. So this solid piece with the with your different vents here, that's what typically would come up. But it also included in the box is the mesh filter that you can replace the entire top with, and that's the same with the front. I thought that was really super cool. It puts us out of business with the custom panels for doing any of your cases, but however, that's not the point here. This case really kind of like blew my mind a little bit because I'm like, wow, Be Quiet decided, well, the hell with that. Whichever way you guys want to do it, here you go. Here it is, and it's not like an overly expensive case either. It's still kind of budget friendly.
We didn't necessarily want to approach this from we're just going to make a mesh case because that doesn't really fit what we've done over the lifespan of Be Quiet. We've really focused on having silent products, so therefore we just enabled it to do that, and you'll probably see more of that in the future depending on the case line. And trust me, there will still be plenty of modding you can do coming up soon with other cases as things come along. Actually, I want to say what's up to Brain Tech because I haven't had a chance to really talk to him a whole lot, but that's actually a fantastic question. There is a lot of metal, like all the mesh is metal, but it does have like the front panel is plastic simply because, only because I can tell you from experience working and designing cases in the past, doing a metal front panel that snaps into a metal frame is complete hell for vibrations. Because it's just metal against metal. The only way you can do it is to like put like a rubber grommet between it, or you put like a plastic appendage like we did, and then have all the metal overlaying it so that you get that same quality of finish. The hardest part then comes from, like you said, having the right plastic dyes so that it actually matches the paint, because that's one of the most off-putting things is when you have two different colors on a chassis just because they didn't take the time to make it match. It just looks gross, because usually you end up with, I don't mean to offend anyone, but that like smoker's brown color. If you've ever had like a white case that someone smoked around and you end up with that yellow brown like coating, like I've seen white cases that came with the plastic looking like that, and I'm just like, that's just gross.
That's terrible.
I'm not gonna name and shame, but I'm just saying I've
mean,
seen that, and that's just wrong, man.
I get it. Yeah, it's the.
Also, Shellback, he has Travis has actually had he built his recent Nightwing in the 802, and he got some time to play with it. That thing is an absolute monster. The only big problem I run into with that is a lot of people forget that the feet don't come attached.
Oh my god! All right, so
how
are
the styrofoam?
All right, so I get this thing together. I pull the case out. I'm starting to assemble it and everything like that. And these bottom feet here, I don't think they have a really good shot of it. But as you can see here, they kind of look like they come out kind of like the Cooler Master feet used to on the Cosmos.
Yeah, like the Cosmos.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. However, the feet don't come attached. And so when you do attach them, which, you know, is relatively simple, you kind of just, you know, pop it right in there. It sounds like, you know, you're breaking a bone or something, but no, it's fine once it's in there. Can I ask the Be Quiet professional, how the hell do you remove those legs?
What do you mean? How do you remove them?
How do you remove them? I want to repackage the case. How do?
Well, that's a good how do, and you know what? I've never tried to remove them. I'm just being honest.
All right, because
I'm so ill prepared for that part, because I legit have never tried to remove them. So now I can tell you, I am gonna follow up, because I have one sitting like I have a photo area in my lab like 10 feet from me. I can see a black 802 sitting over there, and I'm legit gonna try that after this whole live stream's over. And we'll have to make a post about it, or I'll give you some images and you can share them, because now I feel like a complete jackass.
So, because like, all right, so Horst just chimed in, and there's a clip on the inside. I absolutely understand, because like I was squeezing the clip as hard as I could from the back side of the case or whatever to try and actually, you know, get the arm to come out. It just would not move at all in any way, shape, or form. And then I'm like, okay, well, how do you get the leg off the other side? Do you have to actually take the entire like power supply shroud off first and then remove the legs and then put the power supply shroud? I was not having it. So it's just
I legit have to look at that. I don't know. I would rather not blow smoke. I'd rather not blow smoke up your ass, dude. I don't 100% know. I have to look at it. I have to actually look into that, because I never had the idea to actually take it off though.
Yeah, I mean,
but I will say, Travis did say you pull hard. I mean, let's face it, it's like the whole hammer thing. You know, if it doesn't work or if it doesn't move, get a bigger hammer.
Just get a bigger hammer. Yeah,
it's not always the right way, but it could work.
And Horst is right though. He said using the clips on the inside, which I did see, but he also suggested a flathead screwdriver, and he said it was hard to do. You know what? He goes, he modified the foam and then just shipped it with the feet. I mean, that's what I would have done.
That is actually really smart, and I give you full credit for that. I would have just done some expanding foam packets and said hell with it.
Yep.
Or I would have just had a crate built around it, because that's the way I do. That's the way I do.
Yep.
I would just build a crate around it with like good luck.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm, even with my skills, I don't know if I'm qualified to remove those legs. As a matter of fact, I'm actually friends with the PMs. I've talked to them quite extensively. I'm going to ask them just plain out. I'm gonna like send them like a clip from this and be like, how the hell do we remove the feet? Because we had like a 5-minute dialogue trying to figure this out. I
mean, it doesn't seem like it would be a difficult thing to do, because like, you know, it kind of goes in there and it goes in there hard. Like, I get it, you know, it's like a big buckle or something like that just clicks right in, and when it clicks in, it sounds awful and horrid, but that's what it's supposed to sound like. Like, okay, all right, I get it. But yeah, I'd be interested to hear what they say. That'd be great.
I absolutely. I will tell you, I'm already making a note for myself, because I'm literally gonna ping them tomorrow, because obviously, you know, we're a German company, so most of them are asleep. My ass is here in California, or not California. Jeez, California. I'm in Ohio. I'm somewhere. I'm in the United States.
Somewhere.
I promise I'm somewhere.
Closer to the East Coast than anything.
Yes.
That's it.
Okay. I literally have a note. I just finished this. It says ask about 802 feet. So it reminds me, because I'm a goldfish, so like by the time I get around the bowl, I'll forget I've been there. So like legit tomorrow, you'll hit me up like, "Hey, what happened with the feet?" And I'll be like, "I don't like feet." And then you'll be like, "Oh," and then I'll have to remember this whole conversation. So
Well,
I'd rather not go down that road.
sticky noted up. I love it. There's been a question. Horse wants to know: does Shannon like clean 802 builds? I would imagine.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think is.
I love any build as long as you don't mind me sharing it on social media and trying to prop it. I mean, I'm down with that.
There you go.
I try to share builds all the time. I mean, I share stuff that's not even in our case just because I think it's badass. I mean, that's kind of what I do. I love when people do good work. Also, I will completely chastise you and give you crap if I think something you did wrong. But welcome to me.
It's a double-edged sword. It's not always great. No, it's not.
I promise I'm a good guy.
It just might cut, and it might cut deep. That's all. All right. So there's the 802. The 802 is fantastic. You can probably pick it up from, I'm going to guess, Amazon, B&H, and some other garbage places. Oh, no, wow. You can only go to Newegg.
Well, right now, that's probably the only place that has stock. They've been selling out like crazy, dude.
Oh, I can imagine. All right. So
because of the whole pandemic, all that stuff, dude, we've been like all of our components, especially PSU. Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
PSU is sold out because crypto mining, yay, and all the other people that decided to buy 1,500 watt and 1,200, anything over 1,000 watt power supplies, good luck.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, so Brian, or Brain Tech, geez, Brian, it's not Brian. Jonathan asks, how much is it? It's 169, and I'm gonna convert it for you. Okay, it's actually $208 Canadian right now. That's on the high.
I'm watching the streams. I'm like, how does he see this already? Then I realize we're like 5 seconds delayed. I'm the worst at doing this. I promise, guys, I can brain most of the time.
Most of the time. But the 802 white, there is a version that doesn't have the window, which I suggest you get the version that does. Unless you're just building a PC that needs to be quiet. Haha. Did you guys get it?
I see what you did there.
All right. That would be definitely a good case to consider because it does have all the insulation and the dampening and all that good happy horse shit. But if you want to look cool,
or if you're really bad at cable management,
or if you're terrible at cable management, you get the 159.90. Yes. But if you're not terrible at cable management and know how to run some wires, you get the 802 in either white or in black. Yeah,
yes.
You know,
or if you have a really bad 12-pin Y splitter coming off your 3090 and you really hate it, then you might want a solid panel as well. Not saying I speak from experience, but I have a window sitting like 20 inches in front of me that shows me a Y cable coming off my 3090 that I despise.
Let's take a look at this 3090Y cable. I want everybody to know what he's talking about here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we need to. We'll go to Reddit real quick just to see.
Hold on. I'll send you a picture. Hold on.
Oh, that's even better. I like that much better. If you guys have a 3090 or are looking to get a 3090, make sure you find somebody that makes a different cable for it, because the one that they include is freaking horrid. How horrid is it? Well, if you just wait just a few moments here, our good friend Shannon's going to send me a photo. I'm going to then show it to you, and then you can be the judge of how terrible it is. How's that sound? Sounds pretty good? How's that sound? All right, let's do it. Fantastic. Oh, God. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That is... Whew, baby.
I sent you a second one just in case.
Yes. Oh, God. It's so good. It's disgusting.
Yes, it is.
It's so good. All right. So we'll start here. Let me just swing on over here so I can see what you're talking about here. Yeah, this is your Y cable. This is the lovely, which, by the way, I'm kind of jealous you got it on water already. That's pretty dope. This is his 3090 that's sitting over here, but this is the stupid Y cable, which is a 12-pin to dual 8 EPS, or no, sorry, dual 8 GPU connectors, which is basically PCIe 6+2.
Yeah.
But what doesn't... So I have this other photo of more horrendous things. And that's...
I also can show the connector because I have a bare PCB here.
There,
tiny little
here, let me
Oh, whoops, I just realized.
Let me see what you got there. Oh yeah. Ooh, look at that bare PCB. All right, that connector. Why the hell? Yeah, all right. So that's their connector, which is terrible. Um, it's terrible. So
I was hoping he wouldn't see that, you
but
beaver.
hey, I mean, you know, TPB sometimes you gotta deal
I had this case before I joined Be Quiet. Just putting it out there.
this right here. Yeah, this guy right here. Is it one of the special editions or is it just a regular? Oh no, it is. It's our
Yeah.
ROG. If you can see in the bottom there.
It's the PC11 Dynamic XL. I've actually had this case for a while, and was in the process of working on a swap, but because of a few things, I might actually be swapping to something else that I can't talk about yet, but
Right.
eventually.
I think that's a good idea.
And yes, I do need to dust. It's what's sad about this is because I run radiators top and bottom and back. So I run 3 radiators in the system.
Mm-hmm.
3 360s. It doesn't have a whole lot of filtration, and so yeah.
Yeah, it just collects on the outside of your window there. Rod Rosenberg, thanks for being here, man. He totally gets the small connector, but the placement is trash. And the small connectors have been used in servers for a while. Now, is it a standard ATX 12 pin or is it like one of the small ones?
No, it's what's called a microfit. It's actually a standard by Molex.
Yeah.
It's not like a bad thing. The thing is, if they would have been able to flatten it against the PCB so that it was laying like the rest of the 8-pin connectors like on our standard graphics card, I think it would have been far better. But because of the way they designed the blow-through cooler, you can see, I mean, well, here, let's go like this. If you want to put this up, I'll show you.
Yep.
Because of the components on the PCB, because of component placement, especially with the blow-through cooler, which I have the cooler that this card came out of. So you have a blow-through cooler that goes all the way through.
Yeah.
Because this card fits in that V portion,
right?
You have so little room beyond where the base VRM is on each side, along with all of the memory VRM and all that. You literally don't have a lot of room. Like if you were to put it here, I don't know if it would necessarily fit where the power plane needs to be. So you have vias that pass through layers of PCB. And if you can't hit those specific areas, you could either end up with hot spots in the PCB, burn through. You could end up with a lot of weird problems. Like if you've ever had a fan header where if you hook too many fans to it, like the trace will actually lift up and burn off the board.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of stuff that happens when you don't have a good PCB layout designer. So I think NVIDIA had a great PCB layout designer. They realized they had to do this in order for it to enter the power plane at the right point. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of it's unfortunate because of the placement. It makes it far less appealing no matter how you do it. Even when I eventually get a custom sleeve cable from you, which we talked about, it's still kind of a nightmare to deal with because you have to finagle around the fact that thing comes straight out the card instead of being flat against it where you can just fold it over.
Right.
So no matter how you run it, it's going to take some creative prettiness to make it look better.
Yeah, it's kind of odd because, you know, it does come out at that 45-degree angle. And even if you were to run the cable, say, like straight around the edge here, let me go back to your
that card is dead and it's my fault, but yeah, it's not like I have a spare living one just torn apart. I use it for a lot of mock-up stuff, but that's a mock-up dead PCB I killed. But also I love that Brain Tech because I feel the same way. He's like I hate that case, the Leon Lee. I love the case initially, and initially I reviewed it 2 years ago or something, back before I was at Be Quiet.
Yep.
And I loved the case, but then it became like the rice burner Honda Civics. Wow, that's probably offensive to some people, but it's fine. I swear, I'm just the epitome of horrible things they shouldn't say on a live stream. But that's okay. It's probably I'm also a car culture guy.
But you're from Ohio, so you probably have like a Mustang or a Fox body Mustang, and you know, some Bud Light.
I hate you so much.
And you know,
just because, hey, don't hate me because I'm white. No, I have a 2006 truck that I've bought brand new and I've never touched it.
Hey, that's good.
I don't have to like it's modified. I've custom tuned it with my laptop, but I don't like it's still works. It runs great. I'm not selling it or buying a new car because if I buy a new car, God knows I won't be able to work on that thing.
Oh no, I know.
There's like 18 computers just to like start it.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I get that. I totally get that. Speaking of O11Ds, I figured we would just dump this in here.
O11Ds.
O11Ds. What's up? You know? Yeah, there's an O11D because I used to love the case too. It's awesome.
I remember this one.
Yeah.
Isn't this the one where certain things happened?
Yeah. This is the one where certain things happened and folks. Well, yeah. Yes. Yeah. This one. So the O11D, which we did awesome work to and did some really, really cool and neat things to, that was the first time that we were actually able to touch the case, which was cool. But again, it's just like BrainTech said, you know, you hear them all the time. Pom, 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 pom. And dude, you're making like 160 horsepower. Shut up. Go home. Okay?
Hey, that's high for a lawnmower. Come on.
It is high for a lawnmower, but Honda called and they want their mower back. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm getting at. So
that Briggs is pushing hard, man. I'm just saying. No, I've had some fun with little ricey cars over the years in California because I used to race, but nowadays I'm an old man. I don't care.
I mean, hey,
my truck still does burn out, so I'm happy.
There you go. That's all that matters, as long as it'll spin the tires. So the 802 black comes in white. Awesome case. Check it out.
The black comes in white. Yes.
The black, it also comes in white. It comes in the blacks and the whites and no other colors other than those two. However, that's where we're at here for now. You know, maybe
I think black and white is like our core thing. We don't want to go into some of the crazy extraneous different colors because
Can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Can
I don't want to make a pink one. No,
I don't want a pink one. I don't want a pink one at all. What I want.
What do you want?
Here it comes. I want this.
Uh-oh.
Yep, it's happening.
I don't like where this is going.
Oh yeah, it's happening. Hold on. If this this lovely website called bequiet.com is not loading for me. Unbelievable.
I think it knows you're trying to. Well, then again, you're the one that has Facebook crashing every 5 seconds. So
that's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Come on, get off that Kmart internet, son.
Dude, are you kidding me? I mean, it's like we run a business or something here, and you can't even get good internet. This is unbelievable.
So what exactly are you trying to show me?
I'm trying to show you. All I want to show is just the 902 Rev 2 that's in orange.
Oh,
why the hell
Pro 900.
is it in orange? I understand your logo is orange. I get that. That's really cool. That's awesome. Keep it away from the cases. Just keep it away.
It's not just orange, though.
Just keep it away.
There's more than one.
Yeah. Wait, there's more than just the 902 that's orange?
It's 900.
900.
Yes, Dark Base Pro 900.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's wrong with your access because mine works.
I mean, maybe there we go. Oh, the Pure Base is also an orange. Ew. Why?
No, it has an option for orange, you putz.
Well, then give me an option for not orange. Can I get an option?
I do have one, I think. Hold on.
Rod basically said it. Can I get it for Rice Burner Blue?
Bro, you have 3 colors in Dark Base Pro 900. Look at the 900.
Okay, let's go back up to the 900. Here we
go. You have gray trim, black trim, which is straight blacked out.
Yeah. Then just the 900, not the 2.
No, 900. Either one. 900 Rev 2 as well.
Yeah, you have black, you have silver, then you have.
No. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you have black, silver. Those are all the surrounds, so it takes that orange out.
I just want a different color. I don't want orange.
You got different colors. Wait, have you not got it? Wait, you haven't got into the page yet.
It's still
loading. Click on Rev 2.
There it goes. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. There's the black one. Okay, great. And then there's a silver one. Okay, great. Can I have a white one, please?
That's not out of the question.
I mean, it's just a trim panel. It's one piece of plastic, and you got some rubber grommets. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, but then you want the inside metal right?
I don't care. Just leave it black. It's fine. Whatever. Just
TPB mods. TPB mods. Let me know what orange grommets you need. I might be able to get some.
Oh, you need orange grommets? Yeah, I got some.
I
got
some out of it.
You're goddamn right. I ripped some out of it. Yeah. Any 802 or any Dark Base Pro 900 that shows up at the shop, I'm like, just get those stupid things out of here. This freaking orange ass. Get it out.
Just so you know, we did the 802 in white, just like we did the 500DX in white. So know that there will probably be, on future cases, there's consideration for other colors.
I just want a white one. I love the case.
I'm down with that.
But it's
I
not,
totally get it.
you know.
But you know, there's this thing. It's really popular. All the cool kids are starting to think about it now with cases. I'm not sure if you heard of it called modding.
Here we go. There we go.
And
Yeah,
they paint cases and they use like these Dremel things which make loud squealy noises and you cut holes.
I'm hearing this. I'm
Yeah,
hearing.
I don't know if I
You
think it's something you could be good at if you give it a shot.
Are you guys hearing this poop shit? Are you hearing it? Cause I mean, there's your white one, sir. That's your white one. Okay.
Hey, look at that.
See?
And here you're sitting. You're
See?
saying,
Look at how beautiful that is.
I
in white.
I want everyone to realize right now that he was just bitching about with 802. We're taking away work from him. Then the ability to paint it white and oh well, I want you to make one.
I just want you to make it white.
You know, watch, now we're gonna make a white one, and next thing you know, he's gonna be like emailing me, bitching, going, "Dude, you're taking away my business."
You gotta be kidding me, Shannon. You gotta be kidding me. I thought we had a bond here. Yeah, no.
I thought we had this figured out.
I'm just jerking your chain. You know that. But no, I love the white. I love the white.
I probably should say what's up to Rod Rosenberg. I saw him post a few times. He's like awesome dude. I've known that cat for, God, it seems like damn near 10 years now.
Decade.
I used to be I used to go to PDX Land, and I would when I was out there, and I would go visit, and he's an awesome group of people, and he does some amazing mods over the years. So it's fantastic to finally get to catch up with him, because I haven't got to game with him or anything in probably a few years, because I've been just crazy with the transition of stuff I've been doing out here. So
oh yeah, you always seem to be busy, always, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
My dog's over here going, ah. I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you?
I gotta go out, Dad. All right, well then what we'll do is we'll talk about one last thing, and then we'll start wrapping this up. One thing I wanted to.
Oh, dude, we're fine. My dog's just more being a pain in the butt 'cause he wants attention.
Oh well, I mean, give him the pets then.
Oh wait, someone just asked if I was in chat. Is that YouTube chat? I think.
Yes, it's YouTube. Oh, here I can give you. Would you like a link?
Yes, that would be fantastic.
Would you like to know more?
Otherwise,
Yes, give me a second. Chat app.
Well, are the bugs evading?
What?
Yes. Would you like to know more?
Yes.
Don't say something like that without sticking to it.
Yes. I made a joke last night because we were walking through. I don't know if gypsy moths are a big thing for you guys. They are for us. It's like an infestation. And so I did the whole, I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. And the kid at the end, and he's squishing the bugs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's.
I'm doing my part.
Mm-hmm. You got it.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
There we go. We've got a link.
You've got a link. I mean, hey man, sometimes you just gotta give me a minute. It takes me a little bit longer than most folk to get going. But hey, the one thing I did want to share with everybody that I found this on PCMR, you end up getting better parts, and then you can't blame the FPS for your death anymore, and that kind of sucks. And according to PCMR or Pedro, you just suck.
Considering I'm horrible at video games, that's kind of, I'm just gonna always blame my parts no matter what spec I'm running.
Dude, 3090 is not cutting it anymore.
I'm telling you, man. It's trying to game over here at 14 or 1080p. That's I feel like I'm gonna need that 5090 pretty soon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sure
for Minecraft.
Which I don't know if you guys knew, Minecraft did just do a crazy update. I don't know a whole heck of a lot about it. I don't remember. There was a crazy Minecraft update though. They expanded something and then they made something else. Brony was talking about it. Corey was talking about it. I'm like, what? I must be ancient or something, and I thought I played video games, but apparently I don't. So
I play PUBG, so I mean I have no excuse. I'm a horrible person because I play against hackers all day. So
I mean I play Tarkov, which is a deadbeat game now. Anyways, it's like,
oh god,
everybody's just waiting and waiting.
I have an account with Tarkov. My friend, I played it for like half an hour, got killed by some scavs, and just like, whatever, dropped out of it. My friends played it, I don't know, umpteen hours, because I just let him use my account, because at this point, I just don't care. It's like I've given up on that game, at least for the time being.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the new map to come out, and then we'll see what happens. Because Jonathan knows I'm at the point where I'm like, yeah, I don't care anymore. I just want to do the cheesy shit. Don't care. Don't care. Yeah, gonna run
I just
in
like
with.
to have fun.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna run in.
That's why Wreckfest exists.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And so we were talking about that prior to, which, if you didn't know, I shared this on Instagram. Here, we'll just head on over to Instagram.com/ModMyMods. You just click on this little thing up here. It goes ModMyMods. Yeah, cool. If you're interested in getting Wreckfest for cheap, yeah, go to Walmart. That shit's only $10.
Yeah.
$10 is worth it. So worth it.
It's a fantastic game. That, and also, if you love physics and crashing stuff, also look at BeamNG.
Yes, BeamNG is good. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
And you know about automation as well.
Yes, I do know about all of it.
The tie-in with BeamNG, so you can build cars, then wreck them in BeamNG.
Yes.
Because reasons.
I mean, why wouldn't you want to? You know,
because I'm a destructive jerk.
Precisely. Did you have a bad day at work? Come home, play this. It'll be great. You know. But Wreckfest is fantastic. It's $30 on Steam, which is stupid. So if you wait for it to go on sale, it's usually on $10, which I highly recommend. Or if you go to Walmart, if you do that sort of thing and like go outside, you can go on down and get it for, I think it's like $10.32 when you're all said and done, depending on where you live, if you have tax and stuff like that. I mean, everybody pays tax, but New York State more bends you over to pay the tax. So, but that's beside the point. Pick it up. It's worth it. Shannon and I were talking about playing. I think it's wonderful. Hey, Shannon, throwback. Can you name what the front... Oh, you're going to probably see what that is. Can you tell me what those reservoirs are in the front there?
One of those is both of them are coolants, aren't they?
Negative. One is a coolants. The top one is an EK.
Okay. Oh, okay. I can't really tell with the EK one, but it had the same kind of machined metal front, so I assumed they were both coolants. I know the coolants is that the single or dual D5 on that one?
That is actually the dual.
Okay, yeah, I thought so, because that has the one where you block off one side if you're only running single.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's got that little the little screw plate that basically allows you to pull the two plugs so it can feed both if you end up running both. So yeah, I've used that reservoir. It's pretty decent.
It's actually pretty awesome. That was my old build, and again, that was I posted that a while ago. Circa 2012 is when I finished that. That was my first major.
Good luck finding
finding what? Anything? Coolants or
finish,
EK?
Finish. Hold on. Finish.
That was my first soft tubing build that actually had like a decent processor in it and had decent space, and the Aqua Computer hard drive bay array thing. It was like one of my first real crazy mods. And that Aqua Computer bay dual hard drive bay thing is not. No, don't use that ever. It nukes hard drives. It doesn't cool them at all in any way, shape, or form. Just in case you were wondering and you were looking at buying one, don't.
No, just don't.
Just don't.
But also, like what I was saying was, good luck finding cases with that many 5 1/4s now.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless it's like a server chassis. I mean, even ours, like you have a couple cases that have 5 1/4s because simply there's not much demand for them anymore.
Yeah.
I've had people tell me recently, like, well, I want to put like 4 DVD bays, and I'm just like, or Blu-ray drives, and I'm like,
why?
Why?
Yeah. I mean,
why is this happening? I don't understand why this is a thing anymore.
Funny enough, we've actually done 2 or 3 different mods where we have installed a CD-ROM drive into the bottom of some case. Most recently, we actually just did one in a Fantex Evolve. One of the older Evolve cases too, so like not even a new one, but they don't have any sort of 5 1/4 bay support. So we literally just cut this hole in the bottom where the power supply shroud is and actually mounted the CD-ROM drive. Now you're gonna have to take the window off every time you want to use the CD-ROM drive, but it's still there. It's there, and that's what the customer wants, so that's what the customer got. Whatever.
We're still looking at potentially creative solutions to how we can have a potential area that you can either swap like a panel or something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's getting to a point to where it's not even marginal returns. It's like you're talking like net negative returns, like doing that kind of engineering on a case at this point.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, guys like you are just going to cut it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Just remove it completely and then just say, all right, whatever, I'll put something else there, or I'll block it off, or I'll put some vinyl over it, or whatever the hell, you know?
Or just shove something else there like an LCD screen. I mean, hey, at least I'll give you a spot to put something. So I don't know.
mean, you should, well, let's head on over to Instagram.com or, yeah, and
Or you can show more of the stuff you put LCDs in.
That's right. Here, funny enough, we'll go back over here and boom, we just put a little Adafruit, I think it's a 5 1/4 screen, into where, funny enough, where the 5 1/4 bays go on a Thermaltake Tower 900.
I love that you showed the privacy settings, like as if Windows 10 actually offers you privacy. Like as if that's actually a thing. Like, it's like, please choose your privacy settings so we can ignore them.
Well, the funny part is when you like want to like scroll to click them off to uncheck them. Yeah, because it was such a small screen, you're like scrolling, scroll, click. Okay, scroll. Yep, and click, and it's like 8 or 9 of them later. You finally get down to the bottom.
Don't you want like a 6-inch 4K screen? Wouldn't that be fantastic?
That would be so cool.
Because you have like a 1-pixel mouse.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It's like just a little dot, and it moves around. That'd be great.
5,000% scaling. It'll be fine.
At that point, you just make your own GUI and say the hell with it. All right. So
did you want to address FSR or?
Yeah, let's talk about it quick, and then that'll be the end of the show for today. Hopefully, you guys aren't dying yet. Also,
you have me on, and you say do something quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, you poor man.
Yeah, it's terrible. God. Yeah, but we're gonna visit this first. The National Park Service, which Shannon thought it was a joke, sent it to me. I thought it was a joke. It's not. It's not an actual joke. Like, if you click this tab, it'll actually bring you to the National Park Service, like the actual government page, nps.gov. All right. And some of the tips about bears and what to do and what not to do are quite hilarious, let alone unbelievably funny.
I just got to give them credit. They have an amazing social media or amazing marketing / social media staff.
Yeah.
Because to do something like this, I wish I had the ideas to create something this funny. This is great.
Perfect example. Running may trigger a chase response in the bear, and you can't outrun a bear. Bears in Yellowstone chase down elk calves all the time. You don't want to look like a slow elk calf. Apologies to the elk calf. That's fantastic. That's awesome.
I just avoid bears. Just saying.
I mean, you know, grizzly bears are big and freaking mean. I wouldn't even. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I'm 6.5 feet tall, and I have no interest in meeting a bear face to face.
No,
I don't want to die.
No, distant bears, surprise encounters, charging bears, curious or predatory bears. Are you cooking food? You could be eaten by a bear. All right. Anyways,
how do you have a surprise bear encounter?
Yeah.
There's no surprise there except that I was in an area I can encounter a bear like that.
Yeah, of course. Have you guys? Whoa. Yes. Have you seen these two guys? These two guys are freaky. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. These guys are from Hardware Canucks.
I'm not commenting on that because my next conversation with them may go a little weird.
Yeah. What did you guys say on last stream? Anyways, we were trying to talk about, at least Shannon was trying to explain what AMD FSR performance is. And it's basically like DLSS kind of sort of for AMD. Kind of sort of, if I'm understanding that correctly. That being said, there is a lovely video here that is created by the guys from Hardware Canucks and Fidelity FX. Right? That's who it is?
Well, it's Hardware Canucks. They're covering the FSR is Fidelity FX. It's Fidelity FX Super Resolution. That's what FSR stands for.
Got it. Okay.
So basically, Fidelity FX Super Resolution is an AMD technology.
I see. Well, they go through this entire thing, and what I wanted to do is at least just listen to the first explanation of what FSR is, and then get a little bit of feedback from Shannon and see what he thought. So let's take a quick look.
Out below. All right, so FSR. Let's talk about the technology behind it. It's actually very simple, and it's split into two parts. First, it renders the game at a lower resolution and then scales it up, and the second one is kind of a refinement, a sharpening, if you will. Now, scaling can be done in so many ways, and you've probably heard of a couple of them before. For example, for retro gaming, the preferred method is called integer scaling, or point scaling. Basically, you take each pixels and you multiply them exactly as they are, and then you get a crisp replica of your retro game at a higher resolution. But here with FSR, we're dealing with 3D games, which means that doing that just makes the image look bigger, but not necessarily better. For scaling on 3D games, it's better to use other methods, which is why AMD and Nvidia go for a two-step process. So upscaling is the first process, but which one does AMD use for FSR? Well, they've confirmed that it's spatial upscaling, which unfortunately has me a bit worried. You see, DLSS 1.0 actually used spatial upscaling as its first stage, and then a deep learning neural network to reconstruct the image. And we all know how that turned out. It was a blurry Vaseline mess, and it got scrapped completely when DLSS 2.0 came out. Instead, Nvidia went for a temporal upscaling solution as its first stage. So does that mean that FSR is as bad as DLSS 1.0? Well, not necessarily, because the second stage for upscaling is just as important as the first one, if not more. And for that second stage, AMD uses a sharpening pass, but not any kind of sharpening pass. It's actually based on CAS, or contrast adaptive sharpening. Thanks to that and the edge reconstruction algorithms in place, FSR gives you a higher quality image while barely affecting the performance that you gained with the upscaler. And with that integration of CAS, that's why in a lot of games you'll see that you can't enable CAS along with FSR. And in the games where you can enable CAS, AMD actually recommends that you leave it off. Now, what about compatibility? Well, as you know, AMD will support GPUs all the way down to the RX 460. It will also support select NVIDIA GPUs.
The other thing I wanted to...
All right, so basically what it is, as they were explaining before there, it's an upscaler that has a sharpening tool that goes on top of it. Now, obviously, it has a lot more in-depth meaning than just that. But what I wanted to see was kind of the differences between some of the imagery here. Now, I don't remember exactly which game they're playing here, but honestly, it doesn't exactly matter. What it comes down...
That's Anno 1800.
Oh, that is Anno. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So, which Anno is an unbelievably demanding game in certain instance. It's like, for some reason, as large of an RTS as it is, it just unbelievable amounts of resources needed sometimes to play this game, especially at high resolution. Now, say you don't exactly have a great computer and you still have an AMD processor, or you still have an AMD card, or you have an APU instead. This FS...
Or an NVIDIA card.
Right. Wait, it works for NVIDIA as well?
Yeah. Oh, I get you catch up when we talked about it earlier. Yeah, it works basically about 5 years back most any GPU. Like you have a 1060.
Yeah.
Like that'll work perfectly fine with it. And it does give a reasonably good boost to even NVIDIA based cards. So it's more, once again, it's more of the AMD approach of an open source tool.
Oh, interesting.
Rather than that's where you have a quite big disparity, is because NVIDIA actually has tensor cores built in, which are your ability for doing like deep learning work, like machine learning, things like that.
Mhm.
You can do like a lot of data analysis and basically stuff, whether you're talking like PyTorch, what have you, a lot of machine learning, deep learning stuff. That's what DLS stands for, deep learning super sampling. So what they do is they do it a little different, because it basically pulls from reference libraries and recreates the image at a higher resolution, whereas this is more like an upscaling filter. So
Okay.
it allows it to be more unilateral without dedicated hardware. It allows it to basically, what they're saying by saying like up to 5 years back cards, is those are the ones that realistically have a bit of enough oomph to really pull it off,
Okay.
because you do have some side-loaded work to be able to pull this filtering off. But what it does is, even on its highest quality, like the ultra quality setting where you're seeing where it looks pretty close,
Mhm.
that is still giving you anywhere from a 15 to 30% boost, which is quite substantial when you're talking about being on the edge of playable or just garbo and not playable. That could easily put you, even if it's a little hitchy, that can at least allow you to play the game versus a zero sum where you can't play at all.
Yeah, right. Okay. Now, same with certain aspects
Sure.
of what you're seeing here, you know, some of the different images that we're showing, it kind of gives you an idea of what it's capable of. And
Now, just to be clear, this is like the first version of DLSS, so it does have some of that shimmering we saw when DLSS first came out, like with the 20 series where we had the tensor cores doing that.
mhm,
So you do see like smaller hairline artifacts. Like one of the things would be like if you look at that fence, like where it says FSR off, quality, performance, all that.
yep,
If you look at that fence in the background, you can tell in performance. Notice how the vertical
yeah,
bars of the fence, the wrought iron is completely like gone. Whereas when you have like quality preset, they're still there, but not great. If you went with like the ultra top quality one, it would look very similar to FSR off, but with still giving a tangible boost because it allows your card to render at a slightly lower resolution and then upscales it accordingly. So the more you push it for higher performance, like in the performance mode,
mhm,
you will lose some small details. You might get some muddying and like some of the textures kind of blend together because there's only so much you can do when you're rendering at such a low resolution. Like let's say you're on a 1080p system
mhm,
with like an AMD APU hypothetically, and you were able to set this up. Obviously, that thing's not gonna have a lot of punch. So if you're looking to at least get, really good playable frame rates, you might switch to performance mode, which means you lose some details, they get muddied up, but at least you can play the game.
right. And for some of us, being smooth or at least being able to play is night and day difference. I mean, a lot of people want to play video games, and especially with the GPU demand and the CPU demand and everything that's going on lately, being able to play at a lower resolution, but yet still higher quality and higher detail than you typically would be able to with your standard issue old ass video card. I mean, if you're using a 980 Ti or whatever or something along those lines, you might actually be able to get some sort of performance boost just by using this FSR
Yeah, I'm
technology.
not sure. 980 to 980 Ti might fall within usable cards, but let's say good example. One of the very popular cards for NVIDIA, 1060.
Yep, perfect. Yep.
Imagine you're about to swap that thing out, but now you just gave it a 30%, up to 30% or more performance boost, depending on how much you're willing to degrade the quality a bit. And now you could easily outlast this, or if you're on a budget and you simply can't afford a card now, you could technically extend that lifespan as long as the game supports it. That's the other thing. Right now, there's like not a lot of games, but from some of the quotes I've heard and some of the offhand comments, it's been said that this can be integrated really easily, like within hours on some games.
Oh, wow.
So it could very well be tossed in and make a substantial difference on a lot of games, depending, once again, the devs have to actually implement it. In some ways, end users, if they're very skilled, like especially people making custom game modifications,
Hmm.
the people that make like different game mods to do stuff, they might be able to actually integrate this code as well if it ends up leaking out there. I don't know how AMD plans to provide that, whether they plan to put it out there for everyone to figure out.
Hmm.
This might bring life to games and be able to, like you saw the initial drawing where it was a very, very cruddy, like old, it looked almost like a tower from like old school, like Command and Conquer.
Hmm.
Technically, this can even help upscale that and just make it a little prettier. So you're giving a possibility of integrating this into older games to make them better, which I could see people having a hell of a time with like emulation machines
Yep,
to be
absolutely.
able to artificially upscale it outside of what is built into the emulators existing.
Hmm.
But also it gives you the ability to expand that lifespan, which I love because a lot of people can't, maybe you simply can't afford a new GPU.
Right.
You would love to. I mean,
Hmm.
everyone would love to have a 3080, 3090, whatever, 3080 Ti, even a 2080. But some people, you know what, you have to work with what you have. So let's say you were able to pick up a 1060 secondhand 8 months ago when everyone was dumping to get a new card. And you know what? That's going to be your card for the next 2-3 years. If this gets pushed out at a breakneck pace to a lot of games, this could easily extend the life of that card and make it a much better experience for someone who simply wants to game and doesn't care that every little pixel isn't perfect.
Right. I mean, to be honest with you, I know I have two of my cousins that play Fortnite and play actually a ton of
Oh,
games. I
yeah.
mean, they play tons of stuff. Not just Fortnite. They play Ark. They play, I mean, you name it, they play it. But
Yeah.
I know that they're running on 1070s. I know that they're coming to the end of their run with those. I'm pretty sure they're 6500 Intels. So I mean, they're still getting to the point where they're not going to be doing as well when it comes to newer games or to even be able to play some of the games that they have now going forward. Now with
Yeah.
this, if this does get integrated and able to, you know, be implemented into all sorts of different games, I mean, you're talking like another, almost increasing the longevity of your card for like what, a year, maybe,
Oh,
maybe 2
dude,
years,
if this,
depending on how
if
picky you
this,
are.
but imagine if this gets rolled out game and game and game, you could technically go with the highest performance one,
Mhm.
which if you look at the performance one, I mean, depending, like that's 4K. There are people that tested it. Like if you look at Tech Power Up did a pretty good write-up on it.
Mhm.
If you look at Tech Power Up, they tested it all the way down to 1080p or like 1440p, things like
Mhm.
that. Since 4040, let's face it, is kind of getting is kind of really becoming more mainstream. It's not complete yet, but when you look at the performance one, you can have an uplift in percentage, like even 1080 Ti. Good example is upwards of 160% performance at 4K and 1440p. A 1080 Ti gets like 115% performance gain at 1440p on like Terminator Resistance. I don't even know if that's a game anyone plays. I've never played it,
I've never
but they
played it
only had
either,
a
but the fact that you're talking about 140% increase, like,
well, that's at performance mode, which means it's going to be the least image quality because I think at 1440p, it's pulling like either a 720p image, I believe. It's like generating something like a 720p image and then upscaling it to like 1440. So it's not fantastic. But a good example would be like native 1440p with a 1080 Ti on Anno, since we discussed how bad that is.
yep.
That averages right around 36, 38 FPS.
Hmm.
In performance mode, it's like averaging like 68 to 70.
Wow.
And let's say you did ultra quality, it's still pushing you to damn near like 50 FPS out of like 38 to like 50.
I
So
mean,
that, I mean, when you're
that's worth
talking,
it just as is. I mean, shit,
yeah,
that's a free FPS boost.
I mean, at 1440p, just an example, once
Mhm.
again, that the ultra quality, which is one that looks really, really close to native,
Mhm.
like to native rendered, the super ultra quality one still gives you almost a 30% performance boost in Anno. So
That's
that puts you
crazy.
up into much more playable frame rates, and that puts you up to around what a native like 5700 XT would do. And
Yeah.
that's not like a bad thing. I mean, that's actually no, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong damn card. But yeah, I mean it puts it above it puts a 1080 Ti to what native 1440p would be a 2080 Ti.
Right. Right.
Well, that's like it's a 30% jump. So you could technically, you're like, it would be, I don't want to say equivalent to roughly a 2080 Ti, but I think you get the idea. It'll put it in that ballpark to where your 1080 Ti will realistically be between let's say a 2080 Super and 2080 Ti on one of the highest render modes, which is going to be a fantastic result overall.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the fact that you're able to do this and that they're going to be able to implement this into the games relatively quickly is, as you said earlier, as is a game changer.
That was such a bad pun, but I had to do it.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so bad. Well, hopefully, we were able to explain some of that FSR stuff that's going on to you guys. Shannon, I can't say enough thank yous to have you on today. It's been a blast. I really appreciate you taking the
Oh,
time to be here.
absolutely, dude. It's awesome to always be here anytime I can because I mean, you're obviously an awesome dude and you know a lot of the people I know, so it's awesome to be able to, talk about this kind of stuff with someone like you, man.
Absolutely. And again, I appreciate you sharing your knowledge about what's going on and giving your 2 cents on this upcoming new expansion to pretty much all of our graphics cards, which is pretty dope. I have a 2080 Ti. I want to make that thing last for a heck of a lot longer, so I think this is a really incredible thing that they're going to be able to do, as long as they're able to implement it into things going forward. But
That's the thing. It's just a matter of it depends on adoption. Like anything, it really depends on what you're going to do adoption wise. But just so you know, your 2080 Ti, just on once again 1440p Anno,
mhm.
if you're playing 1440p at FSR ultra quality, you're going to be matching or actually beating what a 3080 Ti does natively at 1440p.
And that's just freaking insane.
Well,
Especially,
that means now if you were like, oh, I really want 3080 Ti, now you can technically get that level of performance with, I'm sure it's not absolutely like pixel for pixel perfect, but it's close enough that I would say most gamers, even if you noticed it, it would be something you could live with and be happy and not care.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Especially because it increases the overall longevity and basically doesn't put an immediate hole in your pocket because, well, everybody wants the latest and greatest and the newest and the best, and well, maybe that necessarily isn't the case right now.
Yeah,
May-
I mean, unless you want to spend 2,000% or two to 300% of the MSRP for a card.
yeah, no, I'm all set. I'd like to pay MSRP or maybe even a little below. That'd be cool. A sale on graphics cards. I know that's a good joke.
Well,
It's a good joke.
well, the crypto's having a bad time, so you might see some of those offloaded by people who decide to make that jump. And hey, you know what? You might make this. Depending on how bad this crypto fall happens, you may come out on the winning end of this, depending on who decides to dump hardware.
I mean, that'd be pretty dope if I picked up a 3090 for $300, even if it does have an ASIC quality of 85%. Who cares?
I more meant like 5% below, not like 70% below.
I'm hoping somebody really just it doesn't happen
You're
for
gonna-
them, and
You're gonna buy a card that was on fire.
yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's a relic, but still, you could still buy one. Well, Shannon, again, thank you for being here. Thanks everybody for joining us this afternoon. I appreciate you being here. If you got a chance to leave us some comments below during the stream or whatever, or even after the stream, if you watch it after the stream, let me know. Type some comments. I'll respond to you. I'll get Shannon to hop on it. He'll respond to you as well if you have any questions. But
Yes.
Until then, I think we're done for today. Shannon, again, as always, you're the best, my friend. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate all the followers being here as well. If you would go give Be Quiet some love, BeQuiet_official over at Instagram, Be Quiet official on Twitter, and Be Quiet English or Be Quiet douche on Facebook. Anyways, have yourself a wonderful rest of the week. Stay safe out there, and we will see you next time. Take care.